to everybody out there. This is a short video on pennies and plancet damage. You start to see it's on the S and the of the United States of America, the very last end of S and the very beginning of S, depending on the severity of damage and the amount of when it was struck, and depending on what the planchet or the metal coin itself was made of, depending if it had more zinc, more copper, or if it had less or even at any copper at all due to the coating when they have to repunch. So like I said, these were different problems. You can see the S and the of is disappearing. Here you can see the entire state is almost disappeared and not there. It's not due to rubbing in any way. This is actually due to the planchet itself being struck too hard. So in other words, instead of it, because they changed from copper and they went to zinc, when the planchet would slide right into where the dies would both hit, it would actually have to be double hit or hit harder, because zinc is actually harder than copper. Copper is actually softer because it's copper brass, which is softer. You can actually scratch it much easier than you could a penny made out of bronze. And plus, whenever you scratch it, you'll see copper underneath. Where you start seeing from then on, the country started going with cheaper and cheaper metals to make their pennies out of, getting all the way to the point where they're almost disintegrating before they're even being able to be collected as far as damage is concerned. But like I said, if you go out there and you penny hunt, like I said, I'd use Wells Fargo as my place to where I go penny hunting. Pick your own spot, or you can, like I said, Wells Fargo is a pretty good bank as far as letting you go in and get $20 worth of change every so often and not even making a problem there. You don't even have to be a member. They say they welcome everybody there. So I've been going there consistently getting change. So like I said, you want to keep on an average of $10 per day so that you can go ahead and make yourself a little bit of extra money on the side, or make yourself an actual collection that's worth money. This has been a misoverlooked for a long time. This is thought of as damage due to actual people touching it and grinding it down with their fingers. No, this is due to the actual planchet and the material the planchet's actually made out of. This is an investigation that's been going on since 1982, when they took the copper and gave us zinc, which was basically a worthless metal, making us think that zinc was actually worth more than copper, or the cheaperness that they were able to make them. So basically they took our pennies that are now consistently worth between 4 to 6 cents and gave us pennies that are actually minus 2 cents. So basically the only way to actually make money off these pennies is if you find these variants, what I call on them, basically different head cracks, different plant damage, anything like that will make the pennies more valuable. But other than that, I would keep your copper change, because like I said, you buy $1 million worth of pennies in copper and you have $6 million worth of savings saved. By next year, they should be up to between 5 to 6 cents. By 2020, they should be between 6 and 7 cents to produce. This being counting in for the wages to actually deliver, all the way to the wages to actually make, to the actual plancet, to where the company comes from the shipping to the gas, to how much is wasted. There's an average of 2 cents wasted every time we buy a penny now. So going from a strong state where we had a penny being worth a penny, it is now worth minus 2 cents, unless you can find some damage on it. Or basically, most people just throw their pennies away nowadays, thinking that they're not valuable, due to everything costing so much more nowadays. Things used to round off to pennies, but now everything's rounding off to dollars. People, like I said, the banking system was created so they can create pennies. When pennies were created, they were able to start investing or taking money. So like I said, this was investing money. This being a 3-cent penny right now, to where now they give us this in return, which is a minus 2 cent penny. So actually you just went 2 cents in the hole. You gave your government back 2 cents of your hard-earned money, because you will never get your value back out of this penny like you will out of the copper penny. Copper will always hold its value, and copper will always be needed in electronics. Copper will always be needed in our magnetic fields. It'll always be needed in actual just everyday life. Copper is a metal. Zinc is a metal that is used primarily for unartificial reasons, basically like this. This is unartificially used to make copper or a penny look like it's copper, but it's not. It is actually zinc with a slight coating of copper. Therefore, the copper has been stolen. The real answer is, or the real question is, where did the money go?